Ayan, a very, very
Yeah.
good evening everyone, kung saan man kayo ng part ng mundo, 'di ba?
Yes,
Hi
hello, good
JC.
evening. Hi, Aubrey, kamusta? Hello, good evening, everyone. Nga pala, my name is JC and I will be your host for tonight. And I'm together with my partner.
Aubrey, hi everyone. So it's another Wednesday date with us, the Millennial Changemakers. And 'di ba, we are now in season 2.
Yes, so medyo matagal-tagal na rin tayong nagla-live for the past few months. Marami na rin tayong na-guest, mga community sa Singapore, mga
Mm.
change maker, of course, especially sa mga OFW and mga kababayan natin sa Pilipinas na yung mga nagkakaroon ng mga iba't ibang mga businesses and how they change other people's life, di ba, Aubrey?
Yes, of course, 'di ba? So for those who are new here or have been catching us live, thank you for tuning in. And of course, 'di ba,
Correct.
we would like to introduce ourselves first. So we are actually the Millennial Change Makers, and as a group of millennials, we aim to connect with more millennials all over the world to form a community. So it's a community of millennials striving for a better future and the Philippines. Kaya through our content creation, live or videos, we want to create a holistic growth for millennials, showing the importance of having the right mindset, handling your finances, taking care of your health and wellness. Diba, JC?
That is right. So maybe our viewers are wondering, sino ba tong dalawang to na nagsasalita sa kanilang mga screen, di ba? So to give them a
Yes.
brief introduction about us, we have prepared a short clip about TMC. Kaya let's watch this.
If we're not moving forward, what are we moving for? Feels like we're losing order, fighting a losing war. We need to work this out, can't do this by myself. How do we let it go this far? Hey, you know it's not too late for us to make a change. You gotta listen to your heart, what does it say? No matter how much we might bend, we will not break. 'Cause we got what it takes to stay.
Hi, I'm Angel. I'm Aubrey. I'm Leah. We are the Millennial Change Makers. Change your life 360 degrees.
We got faith. We need to work this out. Can't do this by myself. How do we let it go this far? Hey, you know
Ayan.
Yes.
Favorite
Lakas
talagang
maka-throwback.
panoorin.
Yeah, lakas maka-throwback ng video natin. Tsaka alalang-alalang
Yes.
po ba nung video shoot natin yung mga oras na yan talagang
Oo
that was
nga.
during a pandemic, that was last year. So medyo matagal-tagal na rin. Kahit papaano mga ilang buwan na rin
Yes.
tayo na kahit papaano nagbibigay ng hopefully nakakapagbigay kami ng influence to other millennials through our contents and our video as well. So kaya samahan nyo kami for another night of kwentuhan and chikahan.
Yes.
And in a
Yes,
short while,
kwentuhan.
correct. In a short while, ipapakilala namin sa inyo ang aming guest for tonight. But before that, we would like to play a short video to give you guys about a short about a to give you guys about a short introduction for our guest for tonight. So kaya, let's watch this again.
Watch this, guys. Ayun, grabe, isang malakasan talaga tong guest natin for tonight, no, JC?
Kaya nga bigatin, talagang he was from the Gawad Kalinga. So alam naman natin na bata pa lang ako, may Gawad Kalinga na. They've been here in the industry for about more than 2 decades already. So I think huwag natin patagalin pa. We will flash the brief introduction of our guest for tonight. Our
Yes,
guest
sino
for
nga ba?
tonight was born in Dumaguete and he lived in Cebu since 1985, except for 9 years in Manila because of college and work. Graduate of BS in Legal Management in Ateneo de Manila University. He is married with one child and he has been working at Gawad Kalinga since 2011. So wag na natin patagalin pa, Aubrey. Let's welcome Mr. Toby Florendo.
Ayan, let's welcome him.
Hello.
Ayun, hello po, Kuya Toby.
Hello.
Ayan.
Good evening.
Hello. Ay,
Yes,
maayong
good
gabi,
evening po.
Kuya
Kamusta po
Toby.
kayo?
Kamusta?
Okay lang. I'm doing fine.
Maybe you can greet our viewers. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe
Good
batiin natin
evening.
mga audience natin for tonight.
Yeah. Good evening to everybody watching out there in Singapore, all throughout the world, everywhere where there are OFWs, everywhere there are communities of OFWs actually. Magandang gabi. Maayong gabi sa inyong tanan.
Ayun.
Ayan, sa mga Tagalog, magandang gabi. Sa mga Bisaya, maayong gabi sa inyong tanan. At in English, good evening everyone. Ayan,
Laks
so
naman.
di ba? So talagang bigatin yung guest natin for tonight. So Kuya Toby, maybe we can
Interact
we
with
can
our audience
interact with our
muna.
audience for the meantime
Mm.
before we proceed with our question and answer with our guest for tonight. So ayan, from Fresi Erta, hello po.
Hello.
And from me, Lianza, good evening. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening
Kung saan-
po.
Maybe you can comment down yung location,
Location.
nyo para mabigyan namin kayo ng shoutout, matinding shoutout, para mabigyan namin kayo ng matinding shoutout for tonight. Ayan, from Marian Polonia, good evening. Ayan, watching from Bacoor, Cavite. Hello, everyone. Hello, mga kababayan. So, yon, Aubrey, let's start.
Ayan. So, before we really go in depth po, di ba? Syempre, we want to get to know you a little bit more. So, actually, Kuya Toby, gaano na po ba kayo katagal or working or volunteering sa Gawad Kalinga?
Okay. Actually, sa Gawad Kalinga in Cebu, we are all volunteers. Well, actually, we have one person working, our office admin, because somebody has to answer the phone, answer emails. But all of us are volunteers, and I've been volunteering for Gawad Kalinga for almost 11 years now.
Wow, 11 years na pala. Matagal na din talaga, no? Pero sa dinami-dami po ng mga non-profit organizations in the country, sa Philippines, di ba? What made you choose Gawad Kalinga?
Actually, sa totoo lang, I don't think I chose Gawad Kalinga. Gawad Kalinga chose me.
Chose you.
If I could make summarize it, no? It was actually my wife who was volunteering for GK because she knew the executive director at the time. Tapos, my wife also works. She's a tax lawyer. So once in a while, I'd be the one to sit in the meetings for her if she's not available. So little by little, na-involve ako until eventually the responsibilities grew and the previous head asked me if I could replace him in the organization. So that happened about maybe 8 years ago, 7 or 8 years ago. So I've been the GK head for Cebu for about almost 8 years now.
Ayun. So talagang nag-start po kayo as volunteer, tas hanggang sa na-involve nyo na po yung sarili nyo. Talagang napamahal na din kayo sa community until such point na naging head po pa kayo, di ba? Grabe, ang galing, no?
Magaling. So, talking about passion in helping other people. So, what do you think, Kuya Toby, is your turning point? Or do you have any stories or experiences growing up which leads you in doing this?
Actually, I finished college 25 years ago. I'm a little old. I'm almost 50. And I went to a school that really pushed being men for others. I suppose you know that school. But, it was really different when you're out in the world, you start to get busy, you start to try to find your place in the world, and then something happens, and you realize there are different ways to become men for others, di ba? So actually, ang kwento ko sa mga tao na is, uh, kung kung tutulong ka, hahanapan ka talaga ng Diyos, or helping will find its way to you. You just have to figure out how. But helping will find its way to people who want to help.
Correct. Yung tinatawag natin calling, yung calling for us to help other people. Kasi yung pagtulong is dapat bukal sa loob. And hindi dapat yung parang yung napipilitan ka, kasi parang mas masarap sa feeling yung you do it willingly, tsaka sa mula sa sa puso rin. And do you consider yourself as influencer?
Kayo millennial kayo, ako medyo, I mentioned I'm I'm turning 50. So I try to be an influencer in the sense that I tell people when they want to help GK, before they help GK, before they give me a donation, or before they give GK a donation, I tell them to go to a GK site without any fanfare. Kung walang kasama, mas okay kung wala silang kasama, and just talk to the people there and realize what change can do for their lives. And then I tell these people, I promise you, you will be giving me more donations, and you will want to volunteer more than you would have wanted. So my influence, if you can call me an influencer, is I try to get people to experience what it is in a GK site, what it is on the ground, what really happens, and that's the way it spreads. Because you cannot, if I just try to convince people to give me their money, that's not really true influence. So I try to be an influencer by asking them to do something else.
Yes, that's good naman po talaga, di ba? Para hands-on talaga sila. And then, dun na, parang kusa na nila gagawin yun pag once na-expose sila doon. And I think talaga namang important talaga yung may interaction and connection with the people you are helping, di ba? Para nakikita nila saan nga ba napupunta tong mga i-donate nila, di ba? Ang ganda nun. Kaya naman, ayan. So, since ngayon nakilala na po namin kayo onte, let's move on naman po sa Gawad Kalinga mismo, di ba? Gusto namin po kasing malaman kung paano nga ba nabuo yung Gawad Kalinga. Are you able to walk us through the Gawad Kalinga timeline from the time na how did it start and until how it became na po ngayon? Ayan.
Okay.
We have prepared these slides po. Ayan, Gawad Kalinga history.
Okay.
Ayan. Maybe you could share about some stories or highlights from this.
Actually, Gawad Kalinga started as a program in a different organization. A small program started by Tony Meloto. Tony Meloto was in corporate life, working for a big multinational. Medyo mataas na yung pwesto niya. And then he was involved in his program for the poor. He was helping kasi in Bagong Silang. I think that's in Tondo. Okay. So with his interaction with the poor, he realized na hindi lang pwedeng ang ganon na donation lang, na papakainin mo. So kailangan i-uplift a certain way. You have to give them the tools to become better people, the dignity, and it happens. He realized it happens when you build communities of people that are willing to help each other and to sacrifice. So ganon nangyari. Doon nag-umpisa yung Gawad Kalinga sa Tondo, and then it became big enough to be its own organization. Okay. So once it became its own organization, its own NGO, yun, lumaki na siya. We started building communities all throughout the Philippines, helping people with the goal of ending poverty. Ito millennials kayo eh. So ang hashtag namin is end poverty. Okay? So yung hashtag ng
hashtag end poverty.
Yeah. So yun yung naging goal ng Gawad Kalinga. ever since 2010. And then we've been trying to do it in so many ways. People know us for our communities. If you Google Gawad Kalinga, di ba, and you click images, you see the houses. But there are other
Yes.
ways that we've been trying to help. We feed in the public school system. We create communities of farmers so that they are organized and they can grow their produce better. They don't have to, di ba, yung umuutang kasi yung farmer para, you know, para
Yes.
maka-grow and then hindi siya kumikita, di ba? So we do
Mm.
things to end that cycle. Mga ganun. So madami kaming ginagawa to #end poverty. Hindi lang yung communities namin. So Gawad Kalinga now is much bigger and more ambitious, I guess, than before when we were just trying to build homes for the homeless and give land to the landless. So yun na yung history namin.
Ayun. Pero in terms po na nasabi niyo po kasi about sa farmers. So in terms
Yeah.
of parang help, is it more of parang sa skills, natuturuan niyo po silang paano nila talaga parang mapapalago yung pag-farming, yung ganun po ba?
Yeah.
In what
Uh,
ways?
There are two ways, no. If in the video you showed earlier, we actually have an enchanted farm. It's in Bulacan, where we try to help social entrepreneurs be part of the farm system there. So they grow specific produce na requirement ng companies like Human Nature or Bayani Brew. So they become suppliers. The farmers become suppliers. So yun. Another way is in the provinces, like in Cebu, in one municipality dito, we have a program called Bayan Anihan. So we organize the farmers. We streamline yung pagpapatubo nila, so mas effective. We find people to mentor them, and then we find buyers that are willing to buy their produce na magandang presyo at a fair and good price, using syempre the branding of GK, how we've helped the farmers, how the produce will be consistent, and so on. So yun, that's how we help farmers. Two ways.
Yun, ang ganda naman nun. Di ba para at least yung nabibigay nyo is the opportunity na natuturuan nila yung sarili nila kung paano sila magsasustain, di ba?
Yes.
For long term.
At
Ayun.
saka, gusto ko lang rin tanungin, since Gawad Kalinga is a non-profit organization, Kuya Toby, right? Do you have like any partner, investor, international man, or local na nag-help through the charity?
We are lucky enough that we have a lot of partners in different ways, in different methods. A lot of corporations try to send their CSR, not just the funding, but actually the actual CSR time of their employees. Sa amin nangyayari, sa amin inibigay. And then syempre, we get donations. Sometimes individually. It's not uncommon na minsan may tao na nagbe-birthday, so mag-donate siya ng isang bahay. Kung pag medyo madaming pera. Minsan naman kung nagpapakain sa GK site, I mean for the kids, there's very many ways to help GK. Not just inside the community, but in our other projects outside as well.
Ang galing. At least very generous naman, di ba?
Yes.
Kasi nakita ko din ata sa video na na-mention doon na parang local governments, universities, are mga partners din. No?
Yeah.
Ayun. Kaya naman, so talking about Gawad Kalinga, di ba? Syempre, there's a lot of programs under Gawad Kalinga. We have prepared the slides din actually. Flash lang po natin. Ayan. So, di ba, dahil sa sobrang dami po ng mga programs ngayon, ano po ba yung pinaka-focus since the pandemic started last year?
Okay.
Pero siguro before we go through that, we can go through the programs muna po and you can tell us more about it.
shelter and land security was really our initial thrust. No, ito yung una namin ginawa para to build our wonderful houses,
Foundation.
our communities. Yan, makikita mo, no, there's 2,000. It was shown earlier. There's 2,000 all throughout the Philippines. So, namin na rin, it's really to make sure that the poor who don't have access to proper housing, with water, with clean facilities, clean surroundings, nabibigyan ng opportunity.
Yes.
Ayan, yung mga kusina ng Kalinga, Sipag, Seed, Youth
Child and Youth
Leadership. Parang, those programs, is it a yearly event or it was like parang ano lang, for ano lang, kumbaga yung mga every year event or may mga yearly event din ba kayo sa Gawad Kalinga and those events na ano for this
Okay.
year or for next year?
Yeah,
Maybe you
I'll
can
talk
share
about
that.
this for Kusina ng Kalinga is actually we feed public school children in the public school system. Okay, to give you an idea, in Cebu we were feeding 13,800 public school children every day.
Wow,
Every day in about 4 different municipalities in Cebu. So yung pagkain nila is approved by the Nutrition Council. It's a very well-run program. In fact, there have been incidences na yung sa school na zero yung it's called kasi wasted and severely wasted pag undernourished yung bata sa ating system. So nawawala yung number of children na ganun sa eskwelahan. So it's a very good system. Since school has been maganda talaga. Pag nakita mo yung mga bata na nakakatanggap ng pagkain,
yung mga ngiti sa mukha nila, yung mga ganun.
Ang daming ripple effect. Kumukonti yung absence ng bata, gumagaling yung performance sa school. Even the parents, we teach them how to cook better at home kasi yung pagkain sa eskwelahan, di ba, healthy, tapos kung sa bahay hindi. So we orient the parents, ganun. So Kusina ng Kalinga is really a very big feeding program all throughout the Philippines. Yeah. But Cebu alone is 13,800. So madami-dami talaga.
Grabe, imagine, ang dami nga.
Yeah, ang dami nun. Ang dami nun. Yung preparation, imagine, it uses the central kitchen concept. So magluluto kami sa isang school, tapos pinapahatid sa ibang school. So the volunteers that morning start at maybe 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning to prepare for lunch. So, yun
Grabe
ang
yung dedication, no?
Yes.
3 a.m. to 4 a.m. to prepare.
Mga volunteers sila. These are all volunteers cooking. So these are the parents, some organizations nagvo-volunteer. So we try to make it that it works well. Sipag is our community, child and youth development within the community. So the Sipag program occurs within the GK sites all throughout the Philippines. So madami niyan, awareness, health. We do teaching, a lot of sports programs actually. There's in fact a success story of one Sipag football team that went to Europe and won a youth tournament.
Wow.
I'm not sure, but I think it was in France. They won a youth tournament in France. So napadala sila doon. It was entire Europe, hindi lang siya France ang kalaban nila. So nanalo
congrats naman, international level.
Yes. So ganun, there are success stories there also. Ang Seed is a school for entrepreneurs. So what we do is yung mga bata na galing sa communities namin na may potential, they are sent to this school. This is an accredited school with a system that teaches them for 2 years, and then if they get accepted after the 2 years, they get sent to business schools in France and I think in the UK as well. Wow. So ang next step sa kanila is after they pass Seed, pwede pa sila mapadala abroad on full scholarships. But Seed itself is already an accredited program with the DepEd.
Okay.
So it's already a degree. Okay, and then youth leadership, we try to raise leaders within the community and also yun sa mga LGUs, so that they can be aware of what's going on in their communities, about the issues related to poverty, mga ganon. So yun ang child and youth development namin.
Ang galing. At least at an early age po, di ba, na-expose na sila sa mga ganitong bagay sa health, sports, they become so active na, and yun, ang ganda ng mga opportunities, ang dami pong opportunities na nakita ko from here pa lang.
Okay. Social business and family productivity. Bayanihan, I mentioned it earlier about the farms, how we organize the farmers. Okay. Balangay, we do the similar concept but with fishing communities. We have a social enterprise in Cebu. It's called Balangay's Best, where we organize the farmers in Bantayan, fishermen in Bantayan. They actually have a product, and ganon, may success story yun. That product won a BPI contest, and they were sent to present the product in Brazil.
Sorry, what do you mean by product po? Like,
no, the product is it's actually danggit and pusit.
Okay.
Yes, and then ano lang siya, it's a social enterprise, tapos medyo pag nakita mo siya, it's medyo high end yung dating. It's really pang pasalubong, pang resealable, it's really sanitary the way it's made. So yung ganon, so that's why my success
quality
story.
po, yung quality ng mga
If you can probably, you can find it on Facebook, Balangay's Best. Sorry, nag-plug.
Ayan, sige, mamaya tingnan ko
Ano siya,
natin.
ano siya, Kuya Toby? Ine-export nyo rin locally and internationally?
It's all mostly all throughout the Philippines. People buy it to bring home to bring outside as pasalubong, but it's mostly national ang market niya.
Kasi alam naman natin from the farm and the fishermen, lalo na sa mga provinces, di ba? Kapag yung tinatawag natin pasalubong from provinces going back to Manila, talagang ano siya, napaka-famous niya. And especially dito meron din sa abroad, minsan may mga nakikita kaming mga na-import, nag-export from the Philippines here.
Yes.
Ang dami dito, mga Filipino store. So, nakaka-proud minsan pag nakikita namin sa store. Yan, made, specifically made from the Philippines. So, produktong Pinoy, gawang Pinoy.
Yes. Okay, and then we have Gawa. We partner with groups like TESDA, or even here in Cebu, we partnered with CEMEX, and we teach our we call them kapitbahayas, our homeowners, our beneficiaries. We teach them skills so that they can gain employment in the construction industry, as skilled workers. So yun. So we have that program. It's called Gawad.
Ano siya? Under TESDA? Under TESDA rin siya? Or
no, it's its own program, but then the training and the accreditation and the certification, a lot of it is done by TESDA.
So government din.
Yes. We like to partner with the government. I mean, it's important that we realize as Filipinos that our government is there. We just have to make sure that we work with them. Yes.
Yes, true. Important naman yun. Pero grabe yung mga yung sa Gawa, yung mga nagbi-build ng mga ganyan. Actually, ang dami ko talaga nakikita ng mga videos na ganyan na parang pinapakita na nila na parang yung mga tao bigla gumagawa ng mga breaks, tapos biglang at the end of it, parang ang ganda. Yung parang, wow, kaya nilang gumawa ng ganito. So parang,
kumbaga yung imagination.
Oo, so parang nakikita mo na parang ito pala sa mga community, dito pala nila natutunan yung mga ganong bagay. Kasi nakaka-amaze na makikita na kaya nilang makabuild ng sarili ng bahay, di ba?
Or tsaka hindi yan basta-basta talagang skilled yung mga workers na yan. Kahit nga ako, personally, kung tatanungin nyo nga ako kung if I'm not, kasi ang trabaho is IT. So kung minsan nga parang tinatanong ko, paano kung hindi ka IT, ano ka? Parang kung ako gusto ko maging yung mga skilled worker, kumbaga para at least kasi talagang yung, specialize ka to something na yung baga you can be proud of na yung baga you skilled kasi yung skill kasi natututunan niya pero yung talent mo and yung passion mo to do those things talagang yun yung isa pa sa mga dahilan para magkaroon ka ng ano mo yun para magkaroon ka ng mga itong klaseng skill para magawa mo yung mga itong klaseng bagay so talagang talagang saludo ako sa mga skill workers.
And important din talaga na may survival skills, 'di ba? Yung mga simple thing na basic needs kaya nilang gawa, maano nila, sustainable talaga yung skills na natutunan nila from these programs. Ayun,
especially
moving on.
sa ano natin ngayon, sa panahon natin ngayon kasi kumbaga parang hindi na importante. I mean, importante yung magkaroon ka ng alam mo yun yung specific na yung everyday na income mo, yung job mo, pero at least kahit pa paano magkaroon ka ng specific other side skill mo na makakatulong sa'yo in the future. Diba?
Yes.
So, aside from these programs, I think we have, in order for our audience to know more about other programs of Gawad Kalinga, we will play a short video clip so we can watch this. Ayan. So, medyo nagkaroon tayo ng konting technical difficulty sa video natin. Pero at least, kahit pa paano nakita natin yung other programs ng Gawad Kalinga, via Topi.
Yes.
Doon sa video. So, Aubrey, probably we will pause for a short break for the meantime. Para inom-inom muna tayo ng tubig. And before we proceed to our next question, we'll take a break. And let's pause for a commercial break. Stay tuned.
Direk, sorry, late ako. Ano ba kailangan gawin?
Mag-shoot tayo ng commercial ng best isaw dito sa Singapore.
Uy, sakto, gutom na ako.
Okay lang naman yan, konti lang naman yung script mo, pag-aralan mo ha.
Sige.
A few moments later.
Elmesa, isaw, take 1.
Kung kayo ay galing opisina at medyo pagod, pwede kayo pumunta sa El Mesa sa Clarkie. Umupo kayo at umorder ng isaw. Thank you. Isaw-saw sa suka. Amuyin. At kainin. Masarap din sabayan ng beer. At kayo na rin ang makakapagsabing, wow! Ang sarap ng dating!
Excellent! Take 1 pa lang yan, take 2 tayo.
Kung kayo ay galing opisina at medyo pagod, pwede kayo pumunta sa El Mesa sa Clarkie. Umupo kayo at umorder ng El Mesa isaw. Thank you. Isaw-saw sa suka. Amuyin. At kainin. Bakit?
Ano ba?
Bakit?
Gutom ka ba?
Bakit?
Anong ginagawa mo?
Dapat tayo mag-direct.
Uli tayo.
One eternity later.
Kung kayo ay galing ng opisina, pumunta ng isaw at umorder ng Clarky at kumain. Masakit ah. Direk! Sumakit! Si Jarvis ako!
Ayun. Sa mga Singapore viewers natin na nanonood dito, di ba? Tara na sa El Mesa. Napakasarap naman talaga. Nagugutom tuloy ako.
Mga na ilang beses na rin natin binala pumunta dyan, no? Talagang hindi lang talaga
Oo
matuloy-tuloy.
nga.
Kasi laging, alam mo na yung cases.
No dine-in pa.
No dine-in. I mean, babalik yung dine-in, but ito cases, mag-rise up na naman. Then ngayon, restrictions na naman from the government. So,
Yes.
minsan,
But,
talaga na,
oo.
ilang manas na rin natin pinaplano yung El Mesa na yan.
Oo nga. But of course, I think pwede naman, it's available for takeaway naman for sa mga
Yes.
nanonood na gustong matry yung El Mesa. Filipino food, of course.
Yes,
Ayan.
Pinoy.
So, ayun, balik po tayo uli sa mga programs ng Gawad Kalinga dahil sobrang dami naman talaga niyan. Ayan, flash lang po natin yung mga programs ulit. Ayan, dito naman tayo sa health and well-being po. Maybe you can share po, Kuya Toby.
Well, part of helping our communities and helping people in general is making sure that hindi sila nagkakasakit because dun lumalabas yung na-expose yung weaknesses nila kahit sa pagbili ng gamot, di ba? So we have to make sure that our communities and the other communities we work with, the farmers, the fisherfolk, realize na cliche siya pero health is wealth, di ba? I mean, especially
Yes,
now,
true yan.
especially now na during the pandemic, mas lalo pang na-expose. Kung hindi ka na healthy dati, mas lalo pang lumalabas ngayon na mas madami kang magiging problema. So we try to make sure that they have clean water, they have access to nutritious food, medical help kung kailangan. So yun ang pinupush namin sa ating communities.
Ayun, talagang kailangan well taken care of, di ba? Not just sa katawan din, pati sa paligid din naman. Ayun.
Clean water, they have... Okay. We have cohesive and resilient communities kasi ang mga communities natin, sanay kasi yung mga homeowners natin, usually sa danger zones yan sila nakatira dati, sa tabi ng ilog, sa ilalim ng tulay. Mga ganun yung mga tinitirahan nila dati. So kailangan ipakita natin sa kanila na importante na yung communities natin, we take care of it and where they're located, how they take care of their surroundings is important. So pag may typhoon, kailangan hindi sila apektado or ready sila kung nasa lugar sila na delikado. A lot of our communities actually become evacuation centers pag may sakuna, pag may especially sa Manila, pag may sunog sa isang area. Minsan kasi karamihan ng ating mga communities may multi-purpose halls. So doon natin nilalagay yung mga tao na kailangan muna nating tulungan. Yung mga evacuees, doon natin nilalagay at doon natin pinapakain, doon natin binibigyan ng kalinga. Okay.
Ayun, talagang kailangan prepared tayo, di ba? For all these mga disasters or kung ano man yung mga nangyayari, lalo na ang daming uncertainty po. No?
Correct. So maybe, Aubrey, we can interact with our audience sa comment section.
Yes, interact muna tayo sa mga audience natin.
Let's see if there is questions from our audience and our greetings as well. Ayan, from Ivan Bontilao, dried fish from Bantayan Island.
Ayan. Nag-crave na ata sila.
Hi, Evan.
Ayan, from Angeli Bates, saan po makakabili ng daing?
Actually, danggit.
Daing.
Angeli, if you look on Facebook for Balangay's Best, they can actually take orders. Minsan, ang alam ko nga, bago lang ata sila, nasa Shopee na ata sila ngayon eh.
Wow.
Wow.
Very
Confirm
relevant
that.
na.
Alam ko.
Advanced na.
Yes.
Hindi na magpapahuli, di ba? Meron ng Shopee.
Hindi na. Mas mura
Ang
kasi ang
galing.
shipping.
Ayun. Ang galing na. Next time pa Shopee tayo ng mga produce na yan.
Yes. Ayan. Next from JC Calvento. Solid ng episode and of course the guest, Sir Tony.
Thank you.
Ayan.
Wow.
Sinur niya ako. Pakisabihan na lang.
Bawal daw po ang sir.
Yes,
Dapat
bawal
Kuya
daw.
Toby daw. Ayan.
Kuya, ayaw magpatawag ni Sir. Yan, from Juventino Arquival, watching from GK Budlaan.
Hello, Tito.
Saan yung Budlaan, Kuya Toby?
It's here in Cebu. It's in Cebu City.
Okay.
Juventino is actually the president of the Homeowners Association in GK Budlaan.
Wow,
We just
hello
had a team
po.
building last Sunday. So,
Hello.
Wow,
Yeah.
thank
Good
you for
evening,
tuning
sir.
in.
magaling. Congratulations, Juventino, sa inyong bagong pagkahalal as president.
Wow, halal na.
Yeah,
Yes,
Budlaan is
congratulations.
our
Is it
second
barangay
oldest
or-
community.
Mhm.
It's a GK site. It has 163 families in that site. It's one of our oldest sites in Cebu,
Mhm.
and it's one of our most successful sites. Yung health, yung productivity, almost all the programs naka-check sila.
Wow, galing naman. All for the service talaga.
Ayan. Yan, ay wow, may pa-Shopee na. Maka-add to cart na nga.
Oo nga. Ibang klaseng add to cart na to. Food na.
Pero in a serious note, pwede ang food danggit like delicacies in Shopee na, I mean, pwede siya siniship out.
Yeah, because yung danggit naman kasi it's preserved. It's a salted and the packaging sinadya talaga ng social enterprise na it's resealable, it's well packaged talaga. So, pwede na.
Yes.
Pwede
Ayun,
na.
hindi magpapahuli.
Yung hindi lang yung pwede, I guess, yung mga fresh,
Yes.
mga bagong huli, ganun. So, yun. Sa mga gustong bumili ng danggit sa Barangay's Best, siguro move back muna tayo dun sa link na shinow natin kanina.
It's in the
aware-
comment section
Para
naman.
at least
Yes.
yung aware yung audience dun sa link ng Barangay's Best. Maybe we can highlight that comment. Ayan. Sa mga gustong bumili o mag-art to cart ng danggit, ayan, ito yung link ng Barangay's Best. Yes,
Barangay's Best.
www.facebook.com/Barangay's Best.
Yes,
Ayan.
support.
I suggest they have a product, it's called the trail mix. So nakamix na yung danggit, yung pusit, and flying fish. So parang snack siya na naka-mix na in one pack. So masarap pang pulutan.
3 in 1.
3 in 1.
Ayan, from Ray Pascual. Sabi niya, good PM. Nasa na yung comment ni Sir
Sorry,
Ray?
technical lang.
Ayan,
Ayan.
good PM. Does GK open to or seek help for funds for its social enterprise? Maybe we can answer that, Kuya Toby.
Ang importante kasi sa social enterprise, Ray, is the social entrepreneur. He's the key person. So we try to match the social entrepreneur and his proposal with the site or where maybe the fisher folk, and then we try to work from there. Kasi ang importante kasi sa social enterprise, we realize that the goal is not just to make money. The goal is not actually to sweldo the people working for you, but to really make a change in the fisher folk, in the farmer that you're working with. So, syempre, funds help, but the key is the social entrepreneur that wants to help the social to create the social enterprise. So yun, I hope mag-volunteer ka, Ray, to be a social entrepreneur.
Ayan, volunteer na po kayo.
Yes. Ayan, from JC Calvento, Kuya Tony, nakakabilib talaga ang programs ng Gawad Kalinga. How do you manage to carry out the projects given that there is still a pandemic and make it hard for your logistics? Siguro yung mga challenges.
Yeah, a lot of our projects are actually on hold. During the pandemic, we're just starting to open up now. We haven't built, sad to say, we haven't built a single house during the entire pandemic because it's difficult. Diba?
Yes.
So, but we still continue with a lot of our programs. The Kusina ng Kalinga, we follow protocol. When there are issues, may isa kaming kitchen that we have to shut down for 2 weeks just to make sure because there was a positive case. Things like that happen. Pero, syempre, gagawin pa rin natin kailangan natin gawin kasi madaming kailangan tulungan, di ba? So, ang problema rin is kumukonti yung volunteers natin. We are a wholly volunteer organization. So, we respect that people say no kasi yun na nga, their health issues, their health concerns. So, nagiging mahirap. So, ang natitira na projects now are the ones that we find that we really have to push, that make the biggest differences. Tapos yun ang tinatabaho talaga namin.
So yun nga, talking about pandemic nga, so there are a lot of challenges and yung mga projects na nabitin nga gawa ng pandemic. So for sure, yung mga volunteers natin, we respect those decisions. Of course, health is wealth nga. Kumbaga, first priority is always the health. Especially if yung mga kababayan natin is hindi pa napapa-vaccinated. So my question for that is, since you have a lot of branches all over the Philippines nga, Kuya Toby, and known to have an army of volunteers, what do you think has been the biggest struggle in your organization throughout the pandemic? Maybe you can cite some examples like the impact on operations, those implementation of activities as well as the volunteers.
Well, first of all, yung army medyo lumiit. Yun na nga, medyo mahirap gumalaw di ba?
Sa numbers.
Manpower.
Yes, manpower, donations, businesses are struggling. Everybody is struggling. So what we've tried to do is pinapalakas na lang natin yung communities natin even more. So we try to mas pinapansin natin yung mga projects, mas pinipili natin para wala tayong masyadong mga mali. Mas kumukonte yung mga mali. What we try to do as well is we use the communities themselves as springboards to help other projects. Like yung Kusina ng Kalinga, kinikwento ko, dati yung mga central kitchen nasa eskwelahan. Ngayon yung mga central kitchen nasa GK site, tapos nagpapakain sila sa mga bata na surrounding areas. So, kasi wala nang pasok, diba? So
flexible na rin sila.
Yes, so humihingi kami ng listahan sa LGU kung sino yung identified na malnourished na bata. Tapos, yun ang pinapadalhan natin ng pagkain sa central kitchen natin. Pero yun pa rin ang sistema na the food is approved by the Nutrition Council. We still use reusable and recyclable materials. Ganun pa rin ang sistema. Lumilipat lang, nag-a-adapt lang.
Yes.
Okay, talking about adapting to the changes nga, what do you think or what are the actions did the organizations as Gawad Kalinga do to adapt with these challenges?
What we've been doing is yung natitirang core volunteers. Meron kasi talagang people that still volunteer. I like to say hello to all of them if they're listening and say thank you to all of them if they're listening. Is that we try to spread not the virus, we try to spread the tasks more evenly para hindi naman masyadong mabigat sa isang tao. Minsan bumabagal ang trabaho, pero syempre we have to make sure that everybody's safe, everybody's healthy. pag medyo may konting alanganin, kahit sipon lang or whatever, we discourage people from volunteering na kagad. So, magiging mas mahirap talaga ang ginagawa natin. So, until like you have mentioned, JC has mentioned the vaccination, we've reached a certain point of herd immunity, I guess, mababagal talaga ang pagbibigay ng tulong sa lahat. Hindi lang sa GK, but I'm sure even the LGUs, even other NGOs, nahihirapan talaga ngayon.
And so maybe we can take this opportunity to tell everyone to do our part to reach the herd immunity. So yun nga, yung vaccine is free for everyone. So those who can register for vaccination, please do so we can move on from this pandemic and we can return to our normal lives for the
safety first naman talaga.
Correct. At least para kahit para tuloy-tuloy na rin yung programs and ng Gawad Kalinga para mas marami tayong matulungan yung mga tao.
And yun. And hopefully, di ba, yung mga volunteers will continue, di ba? Parang kahit na may pandemic, andun pa rin yung mission, di ba?
Correct.
And yun. And speaking of volunteers, yun, how can people be a change maker through Gawad Kalinga ba talaga? So how can a person give or volunteer to Gawad Kalinga? Maybe you can share with us, to our viewers. Yeah.
Okay. To give, if you want to give monetary donations for our national programs, you can go to the Gawad Kalinga site. It's gk1world.com. So gk and then the number 1 world.com. Makikita nyo doon yung national programs. Pwede kayong pumili. For Cebu, you can, if there's a specific area of concern na gusto nyong tulungan sa Cebu, you can contact us through our Facebook page and then we will give you options on how to donate. It can be money, it can be even books. We have a reading program. We have a reading program that we conduct all throughout the province of Cebu. So we have people teaching kids not only how to read, but the importance of the story, the morals that you get. Yun ang if it's time, you can contact us again and we will find a program where you can be comfortable with to volunteer. Kasi syempre, hindi natin gustong malayo masyado yung pupuntahan because of the risks involved. Hindi natin gustong ang mag-volunteer ang tao na baka may comorbidities. So, you contact us and we will find a way for you to volunteer because pwede namang through social media. I mean, to other things like that. So madaming ways, madaming paraan talaga na pwedeng magtulong. Hindi lang sa GK, but sa buong Pilipinas, kailangan natin.
Yes, sa mga viewers natin, di ba, na interested to help and volunteer or just give some donation. Ito yung mga social media platforms na ng Gawad Kalinga. And you can just visit it and see kung ano yung mas sa inyo, mas swak sa inyo. And sabi nga ni Kuya Toby, di ba, they will find a way to cater to you and just contact them. Ayun.
Correct. And speaking of yung sinabi ni Kuya just a while ago, those people with comorbidities, any categories to those volunteer na parang if you have something na nararamdaman from regarding sa health mo, can you still volunteer or is there any particular criteria para maging volunteer sa Gawad Kalinga?
Well, pre-pandemic, wala kaming, give us your time, your talent, your treasure. It's okay. But now with the pandemic, we have to pick and choose. Syempre kasi, it's not that we don't want you to volunteer, pero you'll be volunteering with other people. You'll be volunteering in our community. So we will have to interview you. We'll have to screen you. So hindi lang I want to volunteer tapos bibigyan ka na kagad ng gagawin. So yun. I forgot to mention, we also have another platform if you want to help. It's called Barangay Walang Iwanan. Uh, you can Google that. It will show you the platform. It will also give you other ways on how to help. So we're building that platform. It's ongoing. Pero the purpose of the platform is to help not just in GK communities. So eventually, if you want to help, you can choose either by area or by topic. Kung gusto mo mag-feeding, i-click mo yon. Tapos kung saan, kung ano yung requirements nyo, lalabas lahat yon. Because we're doing data mapping all throughout the Philippines right now, finding where and how much help is needed.
Ayun guys, sa mga nanonood, ano nga po yung tawag doon? Barangay Walang
Barangay Walang
Iwanan.
Iwanan. Yes.
Barangay Walang Iwanan. Is it a website, Kuya Toby? Maybe
Yes,
you
there's
can
a website.
share in the comment section.
It's if I'm not mistaken, it's BWI. Ang
.com.
website bwi.com. I have
Ayan.
sorry, I'm not sure, but it should be. Yeah.
Maybe we can highlight the link in our comment section, our back end, para at least to those
Ayan,
people
we
that
actually-
will volunteer.
Ito yung direct site nila, Barangay Walang Iwanan. So directly na po dyan sa website na yan, makikita mo kung paano ka makakatulong and yung mga location specific, di ba? So there's really a lot of ways if you want to help. Ayan.
The important thing is to help.
Yes, true. That's true.
Sabi nga nila, di ba, we have a saying na if pag gusto may paraan, pag ayaw maraming dahilan. So swak na swak talaga sa pag-volunteer sa Gawad Kalinga. And yung slogan nga na together we can end poverty. Sana lahat naman tayo is we hope na yung country natin, the Philippines, hopefully yung mga kababayan natin sa Pilipinas, we can reach and help everyone na together we can end the poverty nga as soon as possible. Kasi especially ngayong pandemic, nakikita naman natin maraming apektuhan sa bansa. And not only in the Philippines, yung mga OFW na napauwi. Galing mga OFW na walang ipon. So at least may mga programs yung government. And at the same time, nandito yung Gawad Kalinga to help also. So we want to take this opportunity siguro to give message to those people na mga tumulong at mga patuloy na tumutulong at hindi kayo iniwanan sa mission niyo sa JK. Maybe you can give us or give them few messages. Say thank you sa mga
Yes,
volunteers.
feel free to say a message po.
Yes.
Well, I read something today actually. It was on somebody's feed. I think it was my sister-in-law's. It actually said, when you look in the mirror and you don't like what you see, you don't blame the mirror, diba? If you look at the world and you don't like what you see, you don't blame the world, diba? So there's us here who may not like what we see, the poverty, the struggle, and then we can't blame that on anyone else except us who can be millennial change makers. So I'd like to tell everybody out there, there's so many opportunities to help. I'm not asking you to specifically volunteer for GK. I'm not asking you to specifically donate to GK. But the world out there is a difficult place right now, especially because of the pandemic. And there's a lot of things that we can do. Okay, let's not blame whoever made the mistake, whoever is not doing their job. Let's just do our part. So let's be millennial change makers and change the world and make it what we want it to be. Make it to be the peaceful, loving place that it can be. So thank you for the people volunteering. Yes, thank you for all the people out there volunteering.
Ayun, grabe naman talaga, no? Saludo talaga sa mga nagvo-volunteers at patuloy nagvo-volunteer kahit given the situation, no? And gusto ko pa yung nasabi nyo na about helping kasi, di ba, one small little help can go a long way talaga as long as you do it. Di ba? Instead of like complaining na, ay, ganito, ganyan. Why don't you be the start of the change? Parang ganun. So,
correct.
Ang ganda po niya ng message nyo.
Well, it's never
Ayan.
too late to make a change naman talaga. So,
Oo nga,
if you
sabi nga
really
nung
want kung
song
kanta, di ba?
natin, di ba?
It's really not too late to make a change.
To make a
So,
change.
yes.
Yon. So sa mga nanonood sa atin, di ba, kung may mga katanungan pa po kayo kay Kuya Toby, just comment down below.
Yes, maybe we can see our comment section if there are any questions, greetings, positive reactions, violent reactions from this episode. Yan, let's
Ayan.
hear from Shida B. Wow, interesting episode
Episode
and
and
guest
guest.
for tonight. Yes.
Natakam ako sa danggit. OMG.
Nako, Kuya Toby
Yun
mo,
talaga.
maraming natakam sa
Sana
danggit.
madaming orders.
Kaya nga eh. Order na po
Ayan.
tayo.
And yan, from
More
Tito
power.
Vlogs Crypto Channel, more power po KaOFE. Yes. Ayan, isa pa, The Millennial Changemakers. Sige, order ako, pengi link ng Shopee.
Ayan,
Pengi
i-ready na
link.
natin yung
Ayan.
mga Shopee links.
Naku, baka bumaha ng order, Kuya Toby,
Oo
sa
nga.
danggit.
And of course, ayan, may isa tayong comment from Lyriles. Thank you, Sir Toby, for that wonderful message to everyone. Sobrang nakaka-proud ko po. And yes, agree po dyan. Talagang nakaka-proud naman talaga lahat ng mga organizations na katulad nyo po, di ba, who are doing these things para sa mga less fortunate or sa mga
Yes.
tao na may mga need ng help.
Especially this
Ayun.
time sa pandemic. Talaga,
Yes.
we really need everyone's help nga. Kumbaga, di ba, hindi naman natin pwede iasa lahat sa government, di ba? Hindi naman enough din yung funds. So, yun, if our private citizen, then what we can help is really a big help din to change
Yes.
everyone's life din as well. So,
Ayun.
So, yes.
Kaya naman, di ba, hindi naman tayo mawawala sa episode na to nang hindi tinatawag ang ating nasa back end para naman
Yes.
marinig natin kung ano yung mga opinions nila, thoughts nila about the whole kwentuhan natin with you, Kuya Toby. Kaya naman, pasok, Angeli and Jaya. Ayan.
Yes. Say hello.
Hi.
Hi, Jaya, Angeli.
Hello again, Kuya Toby. Thank you so much. And ayun, ang dami nating natutunan for tonight. Di ba, Jaya?
Oo, kung pwede nga sa back end eh. Ang sarap makinig. Saka yung habang pinapakinggan ko si Kuya Toby, parang sobrang nakaka-inspire. Yung mga ginagawa rin natin dito. Kasi syempre, monetary value kapag tumutulong kami sa Philippines, yun lang talaga yung nabibigay namin dahil sa distance. Pero meron din kaming mga ginagawa na volunteering program dito sa Singapore. So parang na-associate talaga namin din yung sarili namin, ano pa ba yung pwede namin mabigay. So through Gawad Kalinga, yung mga sinasabi ni Kuya Toby kanina, parang makakapag-isip pa na in the future, sana mas maraming matulungan. Tsaka yung way ng pag-help, talaga yung iba yung may connection. Iba yung talagang ginagawa mo mismo na actual experience. Yun siguro yung pinaka-takeaway ko. Na sana mas ma-experience din namin once na may matulungan din kami iba. Yung experience talaga, yun yung gusto kong gawin. So, thank you Kuya Toby para sa pagbigay mo sa amin ng time and as volunteer, di ba? Nakaka-touch na sobrang daming ginagawa niyo para sa mga ibang tao, lalo na yung mga nangangailangan. And no one is alone. For people like you. Thank you for people like you na talagang andyan para sa mga tao.
Yun.
Pwede bang sabihin, hindi ako yon. Kunwari lang akong nag-uutos lang ako. No, but really the core of Gawad Kalinga is our volunteerism. So as I mentioned, yes. So anytime Gawad Kalinga is mentioned, we are not individuals. You know, it's really the entire, every small act of any volunteer is the act of our entire organization, and of not just our volunteers, even our homeowners, everybody. So I hope that everybody can find time to be part of Gawad Kalinga in any way.
Yes. Yan. So, narinig yun, guys. Be part. And for those, siguro, iba sa atin, medyo, like, yung bang meron pa mga doubts if they can do something, or kung kaya ba nilang tumulong, well, guys, ito lang yun. You just have to try. And you can help in your own little way, whether it's through money or through actions or through volunteering. Diba? And actually, for me, way back, hindi ko lang maalala anong year yun, Kuya Toby. Pero ako, kasi nakalala ko si Kuya Toby through my good friend, my high school best friend, Evan. So, nakapag-ano na actually kami, na-invite kami ni Ivan one time na pumunta sa Daan Bantayan para yung sa mga houses na binibuild nyo doon. So, kaming actually barkada sa high school, pumunta kami doon para magpinta ata yun. So, with that simple. Actually, na-amaze talaga ako nun sa community na yun. Talaga, wow, ang galing. I think it's because na that time you were building the houses because merong yung sa Bagyo, nakalimutan ko kung anong Bagyo
Yes,
yun eh.
Yolanda.
Yes, diba? Yolanda, oo. So, nakalimutan ko anong year na yun. Pero yung bang andun ka na, tapos nakikita ko talaga yung mga tao na talagang tulungan, talagang ang ano din, ang humble ng mga tao doon, at saka ang babait na talagang konting ano lang, kami na po, dito po, ganyan. At nagtutulungan talaga. And it was a great experience na talaga namang, hopefully then, after this pandemic is maranasan natin ulit. And hopefully, TMC can also be a part of the cause, a part of the mission. Yan.
Yes, soon yan guys. Punta tayo sa Cebu.
Yoy.
Diba? If pwede, diba?
Kaya nga.
Hanapin natin si Kuya Toby. Kuya.
Oo nga eh. Pero talagang agree ako sa inyo guys. As in, pinaka-important talaga yung may experience kayo kasi 'di ba na nandun ka mismo. Iba yung feeling nun. Kahit yung nung last few months kasi kami as TMC, we did the litter club. I think first time ko atong magawa ng ganun. Even such activity, parang sobrang eye-opener siya kapag iba kasi talaga yung kapag nakikita mo lang na okay, ito yung mga ginagawa ng mga tao, nagvo-volunteer, compared to na kapag ikaw na mismo yung gumagawa na parang ganito pala yung mga nangyayari. So super eye-opener yan, kaya it's something na talagang hopefully TMC will be involved in talaga. Ayun.
And who knows, maging partner natin si GK or Gawad Kalinga in the future, di ba?
Wow.
So,
Oo,
the millennial
wow.
changemakers can do volunteer with Gawad Kalinga pagtapos na yung pandemic.
Hopefully,
and everyone is
guys.
going back to normal. We can help other people as well. Kasi sabi nga ni Aubrey, tama nga yung sinabi mo na it's a different feeling kapag ikaw na mismo yung gumagawa ng volunteer and charity works. Iba sa pakiramdam, talagang nakaka-proud. And at the same time, yung puso mo parang there's a goosebumps na talagang you're helping other people and through the grace of God nga. Kasi nga, di ba, if you're helping other people, then you're helping God as well. Kasi nga, yun yung, yung mission din niya sa ating mga tao sa mundo na we help and love everyone else. So talaga, we really thank Gawad Kalinga as one of those organization and charity na matatawag nating one of the best in terms of helping other people. So thank you so much, Kuya Toby and Gawad Kalinga, for that.
Yes, thank you po, Kuya Toby.
Can I just add one small thing? Yung experience ni Angeli. Because in our communities, the reason why a lot of our communities are successful is that we do values formation. Even before they move into the houses, into the communities, and all throughout their stay. You know, importante sa amin yung values formation. We try to help them change their attitudes, how to become a good neighbor, to become a good parent, a good child, good mother, good father. Kasi pag yung mindset ng isang tao galing poverty, ilalagay mo siya sa kahit gaano kaganda yung bahay, pero yung mindset niya is still without dignity, is still without capability to share. Hindi yung magagandang bahay magiging squatter area lang rin in a few years. So importante sa amin yun, and you were able to experience that in yun yung na-experience mo sa volunteer work mo. Kaya yun yung importante. So That's why I hope people realize that transformation from poverty is not only financial. In fact, it's not as important as transforming the dignity of somebody who is poor. So again, thank you for all our homeowners that have undergone that transformation.
Wow. So
Grabe
talaga
na.
makikita natin 'di ba na hindi lang talaga for yung sa pinakauna din talaga, the value mind setting, which is tayo din. Yan yung kumbaga we believe na the change will start mindset talaga and the rest will follow. Yan kuya. So
Ayun.
yan guys, saan nga ba makikita? Saan nila pwedeng i-visit yung Gawad Kalinga? So pwede nating i-show yung Facebook page, YouTube, and website ng Gawad Kalinga. So yan, and you can invite them, Kuya Toby, para i-share,
Okay.
i-like yung page.
Yeah. So our major social media pages are gk1world.com. Our Facebook page, Gawad Kalinga Cebu for Cebu. For our projects, bwi.ph. Okay. You can also follow us on, yes, we have a Instagram for our national account. So those are our main social media accounts. So we hope to hear from you there. We hope to get feedback, and we hope to see you sign up for something on our social media pages. So thank you again.
Thank you, Kuya. Yan, so okay. And of course, don't forget to like the TMC, and of course yung mga tito natin, the Overseas Filipino Entrepreneur page. Saan nga sila makikita, guys? Saan nga sila makikita, Obs?
Ayan. So you can follow us, TMC, TM Changemakers, sa Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. And for overseas Filipino entrepreneurs, of course, we are powered by them. OF Entrepreneurs on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and also TikTok. Ayan.
Yan. And ulit, thank you so much, Kuya Toby, for giving us the time. Salamat sa pag-unlock sa amin.
Yes, thank you so much.
And it's been an honor po talaga na makausap kayo.
It's been our honor, GK's honor, to be featured by your show. Thank you.
Ayun, thank you po for that. And so sa mga nanonood po sa atin, di ba, please take note na we are doing this live every other Wednesday, 9 p.m. And yun nga, for our theme this month and next month will be about changemakers. And definitely, Gawad Kalinga is really one of the best changemakers that we can see, di ba? Very best example talaga ng isang changemaker na nakaka-impact ng
Super.
community. Oo, and yes, grabe, thank you. I appreciate your you sharing your more about Gawad Kalinga, and something lang na take away ko for tonight din, dagdag ko lang din, di ba? And I hopefully na yun din makita din ng mga viewers natin yun na na sinabi niya na yung poverty is not really just about, the lack of financial resources. It's more of the mindsetting, di ba? Kasi mas important talaga na hindi lang basta-basta na okay, I give you money, tas yun na, di ba? To help them, but more of yung transformation talaga nila, how we find solutions na we can empower them, di ba? We can help the poor to help themselves. And yun, kitang-kita naman po yan sa mga programs na ginagawa niyo po, kasi you really create it's not just about the money, but the opportunities that you create for them, kasi ang daming nilang natututunan, yung mga basic skills na they become independent on their own, and it's something na for sure they can pass it to the next generations, diba? So together we can really end the poverty. Kaya naman guys, sa mga nanonood sa atin, diba, hopefully you guys will always continue to walk with us as we discover the right mindset,
and to promote health,
To grow your finances,
and create awareness for mental health. And once again, this is TMC saying,
change your life.
change life,
Change your life.
360
degrees.
Ayan. Thank you so much, Kuya
Thank you so
Toby.
much, Kuya Toby.
Thank you as well.
Yes, thank you for your
God
sharing.
bless.
Thank you, Kuya
Doing
Toby,
what
to all
you're
the
doing.
volunteers of Gawad
Thank you.
Kalinga.
Stay
Thank you so much
safe.
to the organization. Thank you so much.
Ayun.
Yes, good night, everyone.